Hey everybody, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and welcome to Cocktails with the Queens. I am back with my beautiful, glamorous girls, Vivica A. Fox. Hey girl.
Hey girl, hey.
Selena Johnson. Hey girl.
Hey girl.
And of course, Lisa Ray. Hey Lisa Ray.
We're here, and hey, Claudia.
Everybody looks so beautiful and iced the hell out. I see you, girl, Lisa Ray.
Okay.
Selena said before the show started, okay, Titanic.
Okay.
Near, far, wherever you are.
Listen, she got the
Vivica
jewel
said,
in the ocean.
I went to the vault.
Okay.
I went down to the safe, she said.
I see you. I see you. We're gonna maybe ask some questions about that. I'm curious. Anyways, we're here to dish about everything trending on social media and in the news. And later on the show, we are chatting with the editor-in-chief of Ebony magazine, Marielle Bobo, and the ladies of the multi-platinum chart-topping hit group, SWV, Coko, Taj, and Lelee. What's up, Queens?
Yes.
How's everybody's weekend?
Happening. Quiet.
Mine was I worked. I'm sorry, I did.
Of course you did.
Right.
Am I freezing up?
Nope, you good.
Of course I did. Yes. No, I actually was happy to be back home after being on the road there for weeks. My mom
Hold on,
wanted me to
Viv.
come back and do it.
What she mean to say is that she's been on the road for a little bit over than a month, and she was directing over in DC. And so she came back and did a Lifetime movie, and then did 6 car commercials, honey. And so,
In that order.
yeah.
Am I back, y'all?
You are
Yeah.
back now.
Okay, yes. And Lisa Ray, thank you, my fabulous co-host, baby sister.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
there
is
you go.
exactly how my weekend was.
Okay,
Well,
there you go again.
I was in
Oh.
Arizona, basketball gate. Okay. Once again, it was the EYBL circuit for KJ. It was the second session. Honey, when I tell you it was the gym field, it was just a man fest. It was filled with a million coaches and teams and
Lisa Ray, you hear what she's saying, right?
I know she keeps saying that. I think
Right.
I'm just throwing that out there for the singles, for the thing. And let me tell you something, Miss Claudia Jordan, Hunty, we will be in Dallas next.
Well, I will be with you courtside. How
I'm
about
just
that?
saying, if you had wanted to come out, we're gonna be in Dallas.
Well, but of course, not because it's a man fest, but I will be there to support the children because I'm here for the children.
kids.
They are the future.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
There
You
you
have
go.
you have to show them all the beauty they possess inside, or we're not doing our job.
Or we're
okay?
gonna give them a sense of pride, make it easier.
Just let them have laugh. Okay, but yes, it was a full-blown basketball fiasco. You guys know I'm in basketball mode at the same time, watching the Warriors play at the same time. So my kid, I got to see KJ played Carmelo Anthony's son. He gave him 19. He dropped 19 on him. It's cool. And they won. But Carmelo was there. It was just so nice to see him support his son and the camaraderie. And Cayenne was hooping, the Boozer twins. We saw them play. They're like number 1 in the country in their grade. Bradley Beal's team was there. So it was just a really, really amazing event, but it was so busy, so much screaming, so many emotions up and down, child. Being a mother is, listen.
Was that the high school?
That's high school. So it's 16, like juniors, seniors, and sophomores.
So were they playing, I know Cayenne's on Christ the King, right?
Cayenne, see, this is AAU. So Cayenne's on that school and during high school time, during school season, but he's on, in AAU, he plays for Carmelo's team. It's called Team Miller.
Yeah.
So, and KJ is Georgia Stars. My son plays for the Georgia Stars. So, and they're all EYBL Nike teams. It's like the highest circuit of high school teams. So it's just very, very dope to see these kids, give them all they got, all they have in front of all these coaches. The coaches are everywhere. I saw a Princeton coach. I saw the coach from the championship from San Diego State was there.
Nice.
And of course,
Very
Kiwan
nice.
knows everybody. He's walking around, dapping people up. So it was just really nice. It was really good.
Well, I came to LA for about 24 hours, but it wasn't for happy times. It was a homegoing from my girl Kichi that passed away, and Floyd Mayweather put this memorial on, and it was beautiful. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I already cried for my girl. And as soon as I walked in, there was beautiful photos of her everywhere. And I lost it. I cried like 3 times that day.
Aww.
And then yesterday I was looking at her Instagram page and going through videos and pictures and just, when you lose someone that has such a bright light around them, it's just like, there's no one like her in my life. You know what I mean? So rest in peace once again, Kichi, 49 years old, and she had a heart issue. People keep asking. I know people want to make conspiracy theories. I want to just clear the air. And yeah, we're very sad, but it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful event for her. And
That's great.
I got to say a few words about her. All right, y'all, let's get into the show. What are y'all drinking tonight? Is anybody drinking or is it just me?
No, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. We are going to be going in with you. I'm going to have a little tea.
Oh, okay. Vivica, you drinking?
Well, Vivica.
You drinking tonight, Viv?
Yes, of course, I have my usual Pinot Noir. Absolutely.
Okay. And so
I got a little bit of Ciroc, and I tried to be healthy, so I added in like some squeezed juice, like real juice,
So
I know that's a contradiction. It's
yeah,
fine.
you thought the juice was gonna cancel out the alcohol content.
Correct, but it's
I
not.
like that.
It's
She
fine.
just added up some natural sugaring. That's all.
That's all I did. That's all I did. Mhm.
Well, I got some vodka that's like botanical, so it's got like some grapefruit added. So I'm doing the same thing as you, Selena. We
Mhm.
kind of being fake healthy.
Fake healthy. It's
some
fake
simple
healthy.
lemon. That's what we're doing. All right, ladies. Now, before we start the show, today is the first day of Mental Health Awareness Month. Why is this month so important to highlight? Selena, let's go to you first.
Because the people are crazy. Let me tell you something out here in these streets. And I'm just joking. But in real life, it's very, very important in this time, in these moments, in these hours, to really put a spotlight on mental health awareness, because I think a lot of what people are dealing with are mental health issues. And we don't put enough emphasis on treating it and really trying to get care for people. We pawn them off as, oh, they crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really important to have mental health awareness. It's just as important as heart health. It's just as important as lupus awareness. It's just as important as all the other initiatives. So I'm glad that they're putting a spotlight on it.
All right, Vivica, what do you think about this Mental Health Awareness Month?
Gosh, well, I think it's vital, especially in the African-American community.
Mhm.
Do I keep freezing up, y'all? This is breaking my heart.
You good
You're
now?
right now.
I'm good now,
Mhm.
especially in the African-American community. I think it's vital for us to continue to grow and support mental health awareness, because we've been in such denial for such a long time. We good, we got it. Ain't nothing wrong with us. And I'm glad that we're talking about this subject.
All right, Lisa Ray, what are your thoughts?
Just my little 2 cents is that it's doing exactly what it says in the title, awareness, to let everybody know that it is real, that it is here, that it is help, and it's not alone. And so with that, I'm going to piggyback off of, what the other lady said.
I think I'm glad we have awareness. At this point, we know that there's a lot of it out there. Try going on a date with these men out here and just see how they fall apart when you ask them about their mama or their daddy or a commitment or whatever. But we got to do something about it. I'm glad we have the awareness, but I hope the next month is Mental Health Action Month, where we actually go and make action, take action. We go get therapy, we go get help. And I would like to get therapy as well for like old wounds. I think it's going to make us better friends, better hosts, better performers, better actors, better everything, better partners to whoever. If we know like what our triggers are, why do I act like that? Or why do I run when this person does that?
But here's what the problem is that's connected to that, though, for many people. It's not paid for by insurance. So a lot of people can't make and pay, $250 an hour to sit with someone, because it's going to take you about a good 5 or 6 sessions to get in before she can really know your story. You tell your story, read your body language, and read what you're not saying and in between the lines. You know what I mean?
Well, it is now, Lisa Ray, since the pandemic. They have, yes, goodness. And they've been doing it virtual, like virtual therapy sessions are covered by insurance. The catch-22 is it's not all therapists. So you might have to be in your health insurance network, you know what I'm saying? Which may or may not be, you might have to fish around some, right. But since the pandemic, they had it for free during the pandemic because they know, people was going through it.
But it's good for folks like us that have insurance, but I'm talking about the people that don't.
Yeah.
And that's just another way in which they are getting frustrated because they can't get the proper help.
Mhm.
Yeah, we definitely, it needs to be
Now,
available
that's
because
true.
look at all the stuff that's happening in these streets and everybody wants, they rather put on everything, but they put on mental health and they don't want to do anything about the guns, but that's a whole nother discussion. All right, y'all, comedian Roy Wood Jr. came to the defense of Vice President Kamala Harris during his speech at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. Roy said, I think the most insulting scandal to fall to the feet of the Biden administration is placed at the feet of our Madam Vice President. The scandal of what does Kamala do? He added, that's a disrespectful question because nobody asked that question of the vice president until a woman got the job. Do you ladies agree with Roy? Vivica, we're going to go to you first.
I just want to make sure y'all can see me. I can, good. What did they used to ask Mike Pence? That's
Nothing.
The main thing. Nothing, exactly. So, it's so funny to me how it's like y'all want to make Kamala Harris seems like she's worthless, like she's not doing anything. Meanwhile, this woman is traveling all over the world. She's doing worthy causes. It's not always what's seen, so it's just awfully funny to me that now y'all want to ask the vice president what they doing, but we had one for 6 years or 4 years with Donald Trump that did absolutely nothing. So that's how I feel about it.
Agreed. Lisa Ray?
I think that she got the bad rep when she did some kind of, I don't know what it was, some kind of bill passed for the Asians. And then the Black folks was like, well, then what the hell is she doing for us? I think then that turned off a lot of people, a lot of her sisters.
But the anti-hate bill, I believe when COVID came around, when Donald Trump put a battery in everybody's back and made them hate Asians and called it the Kung flu.
Correct.
He did put a lot of things in motion that made people go and attack, which hadn't happened before because Asians, pretty much people leave them alone. Now, I agree, there needs to be something equally done for Black people. But Congress, which she was a huge part of Congress as a very effective senator. I used to love watching her in the Senate. She used to fight, man. Y'all gotta go back and watch.
Oh, she used to get it in.
She used to get it in so much. And they've been trying for years to get the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill done. They've been trying to do stuff for Black people, but it got to go through Congress. Mm-hmm. It's not something that the vice president cannot just write a law. Selena, before I go off, go ahead. What do you think about this?
No, honey, you go off because this is your wheelhouse right here. You go off because I agree with everything you're saying.
There was 48 vice presidents before Kamala Harris, all white men. Y'all never said shit about it. Never. No one asked what Dick Cheney did as he made billions of dollars with his little side contracts in the defense area. Dan Quayle couldn't even spell potato correctly. Okay. Y'all made a few jokes about him on Saturday Night Live, whatever. Let's see who else. Al Gore, he was a good vice president, but we know he was for the environment and for the internet. Joe Biden was Barack Obama's wingman. He was to support the president's agenda. Now, with that being said, people want to come for Kamala Harris because they want to question her Blackness and say she's not really a Black woman, although she went to an HBCU. So you mean to tell me way back then she was Black, but now she ain't? She's an AKA. She's done a lot of things. Now, there's a whole list online. You can Google Kamala Harris' accomplishments as the 49th Vice President of the United States. I'm very sick and tired of how they come for her because all it takes is a Google search. Y'all want her to be front and center, but let me tell you this, and I know I'm being long-winded, but this is important to me. Joe Biden, everyone comes for him for his age, and he's not as quick as Kamala is, right? Of course, they're going to make her take a backseat and simmer down a little bit. Her stuff is done quietly. This woman has traveled across the world and done so many things that she doesn't publicize it. She's damned if she do, she damned if she don't. If she tells y'all, I did this, and this, y'all say, oh, she's trying to take over and try to be the president. If she says nothing, y'all want to say she's not doing shit. She is doing stuff. But a lot of y'all are so ignorant and think the vice president is supposed to just ball out of control and just be bragging all the time. She is quietly doing her job more effectively, might I add, than all the white men before her. She's done a lot, especially with this abortion issue. She is. So please Google it before you come for her because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. Y'all have so much smoke for Black women and y'all let mediocre white men skate on by with no questioning. And this is a thing y'all know y'all do all the time. So we ain't going to have it here on Cocktails of Queens.
Well, Claudia, that's absolutely excellent, girl, because here's the thing. You just ran that off like the top of your head and you knew that. Yep. You knew that well enough to be able to not educate just us, but our audience as well.
Thank you, Lisa
bravo to
Ray.
you, Black Queen. That's great.
That's why I said, do your thing, girl, because I know this is what she do, honey. You got to let the people do their thing.
Well, I've been a fan of
moment.
hers since before she was vice president, before she was a senator. When I used to do FOXSOUL radio, and I know we had to go to commercial with Jamie Foxx, we interviewed her as she was campaigning. And I remember her, and I followed her as a senator, as the only Black woman in the Senate. And she used to give it to them in those hearings.
She used to get
She was
people
on point.
together.
But if y'all really Googled what they want to make of her, that she locked up all these Black men with health evidence, please really Google it. There's videos out here that will explain that it's not true. It's a narrative that's stuck about her, and y'all are letting these people get away with slandering her. And I will not stand for it. All right, coming up next, we are catching up with the editor-in-chief of Ebony magazine, Marielle Bobo. Keep it locked. We got a queen joining us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Cocktails with Queens. I'm finally reconnected, y'all. So tonight we are joined by a publishing industry queen with over 2 decades of fashion, beauty, and lifestyle media experience. Please welcome the editor-in-chief and the senior vice president of programming at Ebony, the fabulous Marielle Bobo. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey guys, hey ladies.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey queen.
Hey,
I just got to say
queen.
this real quick. Last time I saw you, you interviewed me for the Ebony, the Power conversation that we had. And it was just lovely. We were in Bel Air, y'all. I was like, yes, Ebony, go. So what inspired you to pursue a career in the publishing industry?
Oh boy, I mean, to be honest, I would say my grandmother. I grew up reading magazines. My grandmother was an avid collector of magazines. She is 98 years old and still out here doing it. But she loved magazines, and as a little girl, I used to go to her house all the time and flip through all of her publications. She had many an Ebony magazine, and that was kind of the beginnings of me wanting to work in publishing.
Well, it's an absolutely timeless magazine. I mean, just absolutely timeless. But Marielle, Ebony magazine has shined a spotlight on the lives of Black people in America and worldwide since 1945.
Wow.
Come on. What was it about the history of Ebony magazine that grabbed your attention? And why is this magazine so important for our culture to you?
I mean, for so many years, Ebony was the first. And even in a landscape today where there are, many other publications that show people who look like us, there still is this void of just storytellers that look like us, and, for many years, it was the first place that we saw women who look like us and, people who look like the men and women in my family, and told our stories from an authentic lens and celebrated the beauty in our lives, also shone a light on the struggles, but really also played up Black joy and Black love and some of the, celebratory moments in our lives as well. And I think in today's time, it's still so needed. Every day we're out here struggling, and we're all looking for that level of inspiration that Ebony still brings today. So I think, 77 plus years in, Ebony is still just so relevant as it was before.
Yes.
Well, I so appreciate it. I used to be a journalist and write for for newspapers. And I remember as a young girl looking at the cover of Ebony magazine, it was a beautiful, I want to say a Black bride. And I never seen that on the mainstream magazines back in 1983, I believe it was around that time. And I was impacted by that, because we had all the other magazines on the shelf and was just overlooking us. And we really need you. And I love that it's positive. It's not salacious headlines ever, but I want to get to this. I want to talk about one of the most talked about covers this year, the February issue featuring Jonathan Majors on the cover. Everybody had something to say about this shoot. It was definitely impactful. Can you please tell us about the inspiration behind the shoot?
Yeah, so Jonathan is someone who had kind of been on our radar for a while. He has just been making a lot of interesting moves in his career, portraying all these different kinds of characters. And we had kind of started some conversations with his team last year and wanting to really kind of celebrate the trajectory that he's been on. I think, since I would say Chadwick, we really haven't had a Black actor who had come on the scene at the time and had the same kind of buzz for this kind of next generation. And that's how Jonathan kind of came into the ether for us here at Ebony. And with the cover, we really wanted to push the envelope. Part of what we're looking to do with this new kind of iteration with Ebony is to have conversations in the Black community that we haven't been having. And one of them was really this conversation of Black masculinity. And we, of course, wanted to give the eye candy moment for February, but we also wanted to have this conversation around Black manhood. And it was really interesting because we did this cover that you have up on the screen where he's, all sprawled out, shirtless, and there were all these kind of the drooling and all the, people loving that. And then we did a second cover where he was kind of in this like 1970s pimp daddy, pink coat and heels. And then we got dragged with people saying that we were making him look effeminate. And, so that was a conversation we wanted to have around how the Black man presents. That he could show up one way and seem masculine to some, and then show up another way and be dubbed as effeminate. So it was great to kind of see all of the banter that it caused, and it was, to your point, Claudia, a huge moment for us in terms of the conversation.
Can I just ask, was it because of the color pink?
It was, it was pink. He was wearing kind of like this fur inspired jacket. He had on these jeans that were heels. We loved it and thought that it was, fashion forward and just cool. And when you think about a lot of the artists of the 1970s and 60s, like that's how the men were looking, but there was all this banter about that photo. We wanted that to kind of be a conversation that was had. So we were glad that people reacted to it and wanted to talk about it.
It definitely worked. I remember him kissing, like he had the pouty lips, and it definitely worked. And I'm here for Ebony riling up the folks, because y'all were pretty safe for a long time. So y'all can do some more riling. And if you need some assistance on the set, I believe Cocktails of Queens, I think the Queens are available for some of the activities, right, Vivica? Right, Lisa?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Well, Ebony reigns from my hometown, Chicago. So that building is iconic. Still on Michigan Avenue. You can still see that sign from the skyline. That was the very first thing that I've ever been a part of as Beauty of the Week, and my first ad with Ebony with Ravine. So that goes way back. So it's nice to see when they do turn over from the Johnsons and turning it over to their daughter and to others, that you guys are staying current. So we buy our hats off for that. Now, Janelle Monáe graced the March cover, and I believe that Jody Turner Smith, right, was featured on the April cover. Can you give us an exclusive who to expect for the May cover of Ebony magazine, and maybe planning to feature the queens?
Shameless plug.
Just saying.
I do want to say actually before I answer that question and give you the tea, Lisa Ray. When in another world, I was actually the fashion and beauty director at Ebony, and I styled you for a cover. It was you, Shaka Khan, and Journey Smollett. Yeah. And it was the three of you, and that was several years ago, and so it's very cool full circle moment to be here with you now. So
I remember that.
But for our May cover, I will say, I'm not going to give all the tea, but I will say that she's part of a duo of two sisters. They're known in music. And she's having a breakout moment where she's out on her own. Coming above the waves, out of the sea. That's what
I know who that is. Yeah.
I believe they've been guests here, right here on Cocktails.
The little mermaid. Yeah, she's a mermaid. Yeah.
Our cover, it'll come out on Wednesday, so can't wait for you.
Marielle, there was a second part of the question. I believe there was a question.
Get up, get up.
You got me, Lisa. I'm just saying.
It's coming.
Girl, we didn't show up with the same hairstyle. That is a sign.
Okay.
That's a sign. Somebody said, didn't nobody to tell me that. We just knew we were there.
Well, I have two things to say before we close out with you. I had an Ebony cover, and let me tell you something. When I'm telling you I was over the moon when I got that cover, we all grew up on Ebony, a very good friend of ours, Cocktails with Queens, and yours, BJ Coleman, just loves going forward with Ebony. And I thank you so much for supporting him in his endeavors. But Marielle, thank you so much for joining Cocktails with Queens. Thank you what you're doing for the African-American community to continue to let queens and kings shine. So we thank you so much and looking forward to working with you again, Queen.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's been an honor. Super excited.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Keep making it do what it do. All right. Coming up next is going to be Queendom. And later we are catching up with the queens of SWV. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. All right, everyone, we've reached the part of the show where we talk about our relationships, the challenges we faced in our lives, and how we overcame them. Welcome to our Queendom. Tonight's topic will focus on whether women can actually handle an emotionally intelligent man, a man with a high EQ. This topic stems from a conversation that took place on the show. Tonight's conversation. Let's take a look.
All I'm saying, because saying that, all right, now we got our own money, we want y'all to be emotionally intelligent, that's a great argument until it becomes a real life situation and you start to deal with an emotionally intelligent, you realize it ain't been enough of them in your life and you don't know what to do with that type of man.
You're not lying. This is not lying. This is fact.
Sweetheart,
This is fact.
my baby, if all you done had is dudes that don't know how to express themselves, don't come sitting in front of me that know how to express himself complaining when I express myself. You understand what I'm saying?
Woo, child. So many words. Okay, ladies. Can women truly handle an emotionally intelligent man? Vivica, let's start with you.
First of all, that's exactly what we're all looking for. So, brother, for you to sit in front of a group of women and yell at them like an unintelligent jerk, you're probably going to get the response that you got from that audience. Be about it. You know what I mean? I hate when someone tries to yell at me about, you can't handle me, you can't do this, that, and the third. When you're sitting there yelling at me like I am your child, be a partner, be a man, do it.
All righty then. Claudia, this face structure right now is giving a lot of things, but I just want to know what these things mean coming out of this face expression.
You know, I hear what he's saying. A lot of us haven't had the pleasure of being around emotionally intelligent men, but why would you blame us for that? Like he's mad, like it's like, can you handle it when you get it? A lot of y'all, well, whose fault is that we have not been around emotionally intelligent men? It's not our fault. We want that. I think most women have better friendships with their friends because a lot of women are emotionally intelligent. Not all. There's a lot of people out there that don't got it together, women and men. I'm not a male bashing, but when you do find that emotionally intelligent man that can temper his words and his message and communicate and not get all uncomfortable when you ask about feelings or not get defensive when you say, hey, this bothers me when you do A, B, and C, and I wish we could get here, and they don't get defensive and ghost you or get all quiet or whatever. That is a beautiful thing. If your energy is here, my energy is gonna be here. And you know what? Guess what, fellas? When you're an emotionally intelligent man, most women will give you so much feminine energy because we feel safe with you. We don't feel like we're with an erratic head case. I'm just saying. Let me get a drink on that.
I'm with you when you write, Claudia. Because I
LR?
don't know if they saw all the queens while the video was playing, but everybody just had that face like.
And I think that he was just responding, like you said, Vivica, to, the audience in which that was there. You can hear them, rallying up. You know what I mean? I'm thinking he's saying, hey, hold on, ladies, hold on, because I do believe he had a definite point. Although we may be looking for that kind of women, but there's a different breed too that's not really looking for that because they don't know what that is. They don't know how that fits their bill. They don't know how to deal with that kind of person because they've just never been around that kind of person because perhaps they're limited. You know what I mean? And so that is for that group of people that have not. You know, he's like, hey, ladies, you all are screaming that you all are independent, that you guys can, got it all figured out or whatever. How about what if we have it all figured out? How about if we da-da-da-da? My thing is that we collectively, unifiedly be ultimately evenly yoked enough to be able to take that good and the bad and be able to rise and raise each other up, so we're neither one of us, women or men, are intimidated about what you bring to the table. That's what I would like to see.
And I hope people don't think I was making a dig at men as far as intelligence, because there are a lot of brilliant men that don't have the emotional intelligence. And that's not to say all women have it figured out. I always say that EQ is more important than your IQ. How you handle situations. When you're angry, do you just fly at the handle and get all ignorant? Or do you say, let me hold on a second. Let me think about the pros and cons of this. That's emotional intelligence. Like
Yes.
control of your emotions and like having a higher take on it. There's a lot of.
Can I say that I just want to piggyback off you really quick, that comes with maturity. So that's what I'm saying. If his energy that he's putting out, talking about, well, y'all say y'all got it together and y'all don't need us. And so he's going to get back that same energy, because he wasn't calm. He wasn't, in my opinion, conducting himself like a man that women are attracted to and who will listen to and who will become feminine for. But if you hit them with the neck roll and the this and this and the third, what you think you're going to get?
Well, I'll say this, and I agree with a lot of what you women are saying. You have so many amazing perspectives that are all very true. But I will say this, men are trained to not have emotions. You have to think about that. They're raised to hold it in. Don't cry. Don't show any fear. Don't show any pain. Don't show any hurt. Don't show any of that. So that's why they're emotionally inept. So men who are able to be emotionally equipped, when they do come to the table and they are able to express themselves and talk to women, eloquently and really express themselves like we need them to, it does feel foreign. And like, Claudia says, it's really not our fault the way we respond, because you have to understand from our side, men, we've just been responding to what we're used to as well. But I think conversations like this, what he said was so important and so needed. I think it's true in a lot of instances that we are not ready for that emotionally equipped man, because we are not used to it. But the good news is there are guys out here who do have a high EQ, and there are women out here with high EQs. And all we need to do is come together. Okay, then when you start courting somebody, make sure that their EQ is high, and then the EQs go together. The high ones go with the high ones, and then let the low ones be with the low ones. And now we can have these conversations, and we'll have happier relationships. So, ladies, once again, thank you so much for your commentary. It's, as always, fabulous and queen-like. But coming up next, we have the legendary queens. Okay, the ladies of SWV will be joining us next. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Tonight, we are joined by the ladies of the legendary multi-platinum group SWV, because I'm so into you. Please welcome Coko, Taj George, and Lelee Lyons. Hey, ladies, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Girl, y'all go way back with us like cornrows.
I know.
Yeah, honey. Taj, now you recently just celebrated your 52nd birthday, right?
Yes, Saturday.
Exciting? It's Saturday?
Yeah, I performed.
You gonna perform?
We were on stage. We had to do the Something in the Water Festival. So I enjoyed it because all those people serenaded me and sung happy birthday to the top of their lungs. It was beautiful.
Perfect.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Mama.
You look amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Now let's get into this career, okay? Because when I tell you about this legendary career, okay, we need to get on into it. It's been 30 years, okay, since the release of your debut album, About Time. It's About Time. How does it feel to have reached this milestone and still have the impact on today's generation? And how hard has it been to reinvent yourself in this climate, y'all, especially with this independent music and the independent way the industry is? How has it been navigating through the industry in this climate?
Anybody want to take it?
No, you take it.
Because it's off the chain.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah. It's been surreal. Almost 31 years now. 'Cause we kind of missed our 30th anniversary with filming and doing all this other stuff. But October will be 31 years.
Wow.
And it's unbelievable because everybody can't say that. Everybody can't wear that T-shirt and say, I did it, we did it, and we still here. It's amazing. And to try and keep up, I don't even think we've actually tried. We've just grown in our own space. Like we're not walking around with the thong panties. We don't have to do all that stuff. We haven't taken any naked pictures to get likes. We don't have to do that. We've just been SWV. Like, this is what we do. So it's been easy evolving. We've just been us, matured.
You know, I appreciate that what you just said. Like, you guys have never done that. And can I just go out and say 30 years we're, and how y'all look even better now. 30 years. Like, y'all look amazing. I've seen all the glam y'all been given. Coko with the blonde hair.
Thank you.
Y'all all look so good. And I just want to get that out the way first, but I want to ask you a question. Now, when you think about the evolution of R&B music, do you see a future with more female R&B groups?
I think so. I think it's coming. What do y'all think?
Coko.
You know, it always goes away, but then it comes back. You have Flo that's out there; they're doing their thing now. So I think more girl groups will come.
Why do you think there haven't been any? Why do you think there's such a lack of them?
I think a lot of
Get along.
I was going to say the same damn thing.
And if I can be completely honest, sometimes women, and I'm speaking for younger women as well as older women, we can be very petty sometimes. Like, we're super emotional. Everything offends us. And I think when we focus on the issue at hand and learn how to resolve certain problems, you will realize that, wow, that wasn't so bad. You know, maybe I was bugging, maybe I was tripping, but I think it's just that thing of just saying sorry or just, you know, trying to resolve, like I said before. And that's the hardest thing to do, because if you admit to something, then it's your fault, but it's not really a fault, but it's just, I mean, I just feel like, I don't know, it works differently for everybody, but I do feel like there will be more girl groups. I really do. I really do. Because they're learning from our mistakes pretty much.
I think men are petty too. I don't want to just say, I don't think we should just own that. I think men are petty too, but I think they can see past their pettiness when it comes to money. And a lot of times we stand on principle, like, no, F that. Until she says, sorry, I'm not doing it. And men be like, I don't rock with him, but let's get this bread.
Right.
Because men are very bitchy too. I'm sorry.
Except 112, honey. Except 112. 112 said no man.
Selena, you spilling all the tea on 112. Okay.
They're not together. I'm mad about it still. I'm still mad.
Me too. Ooh, I'm with Selena on that.
I'm too mad.
So, ladies, I'm going to tell you the surprising thing for me was when you all start alongside the Women of Escape in the reality show, The Queens of R&B. What'd y'all take away from that experience?
Don't do it again.
Never come.
Damn.
I was disappointed in that whole
and see, that's the thing that people really don't know. It's like when you do reality and you got them folks all up in your face and cameras, it's a whole different world, especially if you're used to carrying yourself a certain way. And then you got producers like, do this, do that. It's difficult, especially if you're not used to it. You ladies have all been private and classy throughout your entire career. And I commend y'all for that. You know, that's why y'all still here, because y'all didn't have to take that route. Y'all have talent. So I'm surprised to hear y'all say y'all like, I'm good.
But all of y'all are consistent on that though, because everybody is like, nah, we good. We don't have to do it no more. A lot of stuff came out that we didn't want. And you know what? We want to control our lives like we've been doing it. So we cool. So, hey.
And look,
I'm good.
Switching gears, but kind of staying in the same lane. Okay, so so you guys are getting ready to go on tour with Jodeci. First of all, come on through. Y'all about to turn up on this tour. This tour gonna be so good. Jodeci, Andrew Hill. The type of singing is getting ready to be crazy. But
Yes.
I have a question. So on the show, you all had some discrepancies, some misunderstandings about who goes first, second, and third. Okay, then. What is going to be the difference and what has been the difference on a tour where you guys are the only women and 2 other male groups? Because that's a big, you see what I'm saying? That whole dichotomy is different and is probably much easier with the men.
I just better not be opening.
Let me just say this. You're speaking about the queens of R&B. We SWV never argue with anybody about going last or closing. That's never been our issue. Any promoter you speak to, they will always tell you that has never been an issue. When we did that show, we went in knowing that it would be an integrated show.
Right.
So where that came from, I have no idea. Where the whole we got to make less money, we take a pay cut. We don't know where that came from. The whole thing was which song should go last, Weak or Understanding. We were saying maybe Weak should go last, and it had nothing to do with any ego or anything. It's just what's out there. Weak is a bigger record. That's all we were saying. So it just kind of grew legs that we had no idea what that was about. But we always cool with going on tour with the guys because we dudes ourselves,
Okay, so what can we expect from the tour? Because this gonna be the bomb. I'm excited about this tour.
Oh my gosh. Everything. Like you said, some great singing. The production is going to be crazy. The band is going to be crazy. Like you will definitely see a SWV that you have never seen before because truth be told, we have a lot to celebrate. And we're coming on this tour with Jodeci and Drew Hill, 2 boy bands that we actually love so much. And we're going to do our thing. We're going to kick their ass on this tour.
I know you are. And when y'all come to LA, please call us because we want to be in the front row doing some shoo-wop, you-wop.
Oh, yes. We want the shoo-wop, pop, all of that.
Okay. Now, before we let you go, let's spice it up a little bit. Let's have a little game. Let's have a little fun. Play a quick game of most likely.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
All right. Now, rules are simple. Listen up. Each queen will read a scenario, and you ladies are going to raise the sign of the member that it pertains to. So, y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who is most likely to go off on an internet troll?
Hi, girl. 2 for 1.
Lelee.
I know Lelee. Lelee's the little gangster of the group.
Okay.
I am very nice. I usually don't do the internet thing, but I get tired of people. I don't know. People just poke the bear with me. Like they think, but it's just this misconception that, I guess the light-skinned girl ain't gonna say she too cute. And I think for a long time, I've been too quiet. But sometimes you gotta let people know I ain't the one that the 2.
Okay.
And
I understand, girl. I understand.
Spirit animals.
You always getting people.
Yes. Spirit animal. I feel you. Keep checking them every time they try to get too saucy. All right. Now, who's most likely to forget the lyrics to a song?
Okay.
Okay, I'll say her because she does more singing, but I forget everything.
Coko.
Oh my
Coko.
goodness,
Remember.
Let's hear from Coko.
I always forget the lyrics, especially to Weak.
What song?
Wow.
To which song?
Weak.
The biggest record.
I don't know. It just, my nerves get bad and I blank out. So yeah.
How can you with that voice be nervous? You're so bomb though. Like it sounds
She
like
lose all control and something takes over.
Right.
Literally.
Exactly. Okay, so who is most likely to show up to rehearsal late?
Oh, late.
Late. Not me.
But you know what? I love that you can take accountability, Lelee. I'm glad you can take accountability.
I own my shit.
I wish she would sit here and say want somebody else other than us.
Okay.
So listen, I've got the last question of the night. Who is most likely to turn up while on tour?
Turn up.
Yes, you don't have the most.
Damn, Lelee.
You just bad over there and showing up late.
Wait, turn up how? Like
she'll
hanging.
hang out. No,
You
she
know.
don't turn up, but she'll hang out like and watch the shows. Taj and I, we're going to sleep.
Right.
So it seems like
that was
Taj is the most.
I agree with that.
Fun.
So
That
Taj
was
is the calm one. Taj, you're the calm one.
But you know, I have my moments. If you poke me, I get ghetto. But for the most part, I'm fun loving. I don't want no drama. I just want to do my job, eat candy,
know
and go
that's
to
right.
bed.
Can
I
I
think
just
we
say
all
crazy
have that.
thing in closing?
Mhm.
Coko, that blonde hair. Yes, honey. Yes.
Give us a little twirl. Let us
We
see
own it. We be like, I'm over here. You know what I mean? Did it, and you did it, blonde girl. It looked good.
I cut
You
mad.
can always put on a wig or two, so you good.
Shit,
Good.
hello,
That was
somebody.
so much fun, ladies. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We love you guys, and we're gonna see you at the concert.
And next time we come on with the cocktails with queens, we gonna ask y'all some questions.
Oh, okay. Come
We
through
ready,
there.
bro. We need a whole hour. We gonna need a whole hour, okay?
We are ready. Coming up next, Brittney Griner is advocating for transgender athletes. Stick around.
Welcome back. And what a great chat and a great time we had with SWV. Make sure you watch the rerun tomorrow and send it to all your friends because they were just a joy to join us. All right, y'all. I want to make Mother's Day extra special for my mom this year. And that's why I'm giving her a unique, heartfelt gift that'll truly make her feel special and loved. The gift of StoryWorth. StoryWorth is an online service that helps you and your loved ones preserve precious memories and stories for years to come. And it's a thoughtful and meaningful gift that connects you to those who matter most. Every week, StoryWorth will email you, your loved one, a thought-provoking question of your choice from their vast pool of options. These are questions you may never have had the chance to ask, like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done in your life? Or, if you could see into the future, what would you want to find out? And after 1 year, StoryWorth will compile your loved one's stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. This sounds amazing. And I think we don't really make photo albums anymore. We kind of just keep pictures on our phones. I think this is a great, great gift. Now, the book is going to be amazing, but the journey there will also be a gift itself. I look forward to reading the weekly stories my mom shares over the course of the next year. I think this will be amazing to look back upon, like, wow, I didn't remember that memory. And here we are. All right, give all the moms in your life a unique, heartfelt gift you'll cherish for years. StoryWorth. Right now, for a limited time, you'll save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/cocktailswithqueens. That's StoryWorth.com/cocktailswithqueens to save $10 on your first purchase. Once again, that's StoryWorth.com/cocktailswithqueens. Promotional consideration furnished by StoryWorth. I'm definitely looking forward to that. All right, let's get back to the topics. During a recent interview, Brittney Griner shared that she's supporting transgender athletes' ability to participate in sports based on their identity. Griner said, I think it's a crime, honestly, to separate someone for any reason. So I definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed, for sure. What are your thoughts on Griner's remarks? Let's go to you first, Vivica. What do you think about this? She basically wants transgenders to be able to compete with women, natural-born women.
You know, I get this is a delicate line for any athlete to have to address, and especially for them to go to Brittney, considering everything that she's been through with, you know, her being in jail, this and the third. So of course, she's going to answer it politically correct. This is a tough one, y'all. This one is a tough one because I think that there's an unfair advantage when a person has been born a man to compete, regardless of what they may identify it. But if you've got that extra testosterone, to me, it's not fair to compete against a woman. But I understand the place that Brittney's put in, that she didn't want to answer it not politically correct, and they would have jumped all over her on that. So I think she answered it safe.
Melina?
I'm going to hit you with a Vivica sigh.
Well,
we got two.
I really love Brittney Griner. Thank you for that, Lisa Ray, because I didn't know. I really love Brittney Griner, but I don't agree with her on this. I don't agree. I don't think that it should be encouraged that transgender women should be able to compete with other biological women. If that was the case, then why do we have two genders in sports in the first place?
Yes.
I think that transgender athletes should have their own lane should be created Just like we have male, female, there should be transgender. That would make it fair. I think they should have their own everything. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. They don't want to be with the men because men are nuts. They would be horrendous to them in the locker room. They would be horrendous to them if they were to compete alongside men in team sports. Now, individual sports maybe so, but in team sports, it would be tragic. Women are nicer. It's nicer. It's easier to compete against us. You can beat us and all this fun stuff, but it's not fair for us.
Yes.
So I think there needs to be they need to have their own lane. And that's the answer. Other than that, it's absurd. Even Caitlyn Jenner said it was absurd to allow transgenders. And when I say transgender, I mean men competing as women.
That's right.
Transgenders compete against other women.
Lisa
And I'm
Ray?
just going to stand on that.
I think both ladies are, I agree with Selena, actually. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And I think that's a great idea, Selena, that they can have their own category. I think that's wonderful for them.
Absolutely.
To think about. Claudia, what do you think?
I mean, Brittney Griner, you're in the WNBA, and there's a difference between the WNBA and the NBA for a reason. You're not playing against LeBron James, okay? Because it's a whole different situation. And yes, transgenders are kind of in the middle. They should be their own lane. The one swimmer that was 250th amongst men is tied for number one in the women's swimming, and then they gave the award to her instead of the natural born women. It's not fair. It's too early for that. I think there needs to be a third league. And I think we should make that happen. Special thanks to the editor-in-chief of Ebony Magazine, Marielle Bobo, and the ladies of SWV for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. I want y'all to stay tuned for Black Waterhouse Movies. Catch it on our YouTube channel and website. And also make sure you like this video and share it and rewatch it tomorrow and share it amongst your friends. Ladies, fantastic time. Y'all look beautiful.
Great show again. Bye.
Yes. Bye.